welcome, 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 welcome to the SUV TV Game of the Week. I am Sly Williams. I'm joined by the one and only Coach Darryl LeBerry as we bring you some exciting high school basketball. We have a good one, big-time region matchup, the Battle of the Rams. Grayson High School taking on Newton High School. Should be a good one. How you doing tonight, Coach?
I'm doing well, man. I'm excited. I haven't been here since, we talked about it off air, since Ashton Hagens was playing in the state tournament game.
Ooh.
And it was packed out that night, and it's packed here tonight too.
Packed atmosphere tonight. The student body, they're up and rocking. They've been going ever since halftime of the girls' game. The student body has been ready. They're ready for the action. We should have a great one tonight with a battle of stars. We have one kid who was just today selected as a McDonald's All-American, the one and only Mr. S. Castle, Stephon Castle. Can you tell us a little bit about Castle, Coach?
Man, he's a big, strong, physical guard that can make shots. He's going to bully you at the rim. Headed to UConn, I think their style and their system is a good fit for him. Obviously, he's one of the best players in the state and one of the best players to come out in a while. McDonald's All-American is a unbelievable achievement, and we have two guys, him and Isaiah Collier this year. Their record is a little shaky, if we're being completely honest, but I'm excited to see them and see if they have their whole roster tonight matched up with a good Grayson team.
Should be a good one, like you said, seeing if they have their whole roster with them tonight. It looks like everybody on that Newton roster is dressed out, so we'll see if they all play. Now let's go on the other side. The other side, you have the Grayson Rams. Grayson, a relatively young team, but don't let the age fool you. Grayson only has one senior, and that's Chad Moodie, the Alabama A&M commit. But everybody else is an underclassman, and don't be fooled. These young boys can go, Coach. They can play.
They got a great program over there. I mean, a great culture. They work relentlessly over there, so they won't be intimidated by being in this type of game, this type of atmosphere. And their younger guys have been playing on varsity for a while, so they're prepared for this moment. I'm sure they're very aware that Castle was nominated as McDonald's All-American today, and they know that he will be the key guy you got to focus on. So I think Gicarri Harris is going to take that challenge on defensively. And it's a great environment, great atmosphere. I think the coaching staff from Grayson is fired up about it too. That they're ready for these type of moments.
I'm telling you, they are ready. Coach Pierce, he is no stranger to these big games. And on the other side, Coach Charlemagne Gibbons, he is definitely not a stranger to these big games. Charlemagne with 2 state championships down there at Morgan County. And every time I mention Coach Gibbons in Morgan County, I have to talk about my favorite Georgia player of all time.
Who's that? Tookie's your favorite all-time Georgia player?
Tookie is my favorite Georgia player of all time. I love that kid. To watch that kid play at Morgan County High School.
Unfortunately, I watched him in a Georgia Southern uniform when I was at Georgia State, and he was a bad boy. I'm pretty sure he's the all-time leading scorer there.
All-time leading scorer every place he's played.
Yeah, he's a bad boy, man. He could put the ball in the hole. Didn't talk a lot. No antics. Just straight scoring, getting buckets.
Got it done. All right, we're getting ready. You have the starting lineups here. Everybody's coming out for these youngsters, coming out for the Newton Ram team. One person missing out of that starting lineup was the Indiana commit. Oh, I'm sorry, I got caught up. Ja'Kai Newton, he is dressed out, but he isn't playing.
He tricked us, man. He tricked us. Warmed up, looked good, had a couple of little dunks and warm-up. We thought he was going to be ready to play. Only thing that we kind of noticed was he had on a different pair of shoes than everyone else on the team, and that was kind of, the telltale moment. Really excited to see him play. Coach Yasir Rosemond, good friend of ours at DSUV TV, recruited him to Indiana. I'm sure they're just trying to make sure that he's healthy and ready when he gets to Bloomington. He's going to have a great college career.
All right, here we go. The SUV TV Game of the Week, brought to you by Breda Pest. Brought to you by Breda Pest. We want to thank our sponsors at Breda Pest. We got us a good one. Here we go. Newton there in all white, the blue numbers. Grayson there in the gold with the emerald green numbers. And Grayson will win the tip, and C.J. Howlett, we're going to call his name out a lot, Coach. He's a guy to watch out for.
Definitely a scoring guard, a little bit on the small in stature, but plays bigger than he is and going to be super aggressive trying to get to the rim.
Castle with the steal in the early going. They'll get it over to MJ. MJ pulling up, knocking it down. MJ Whitlock getting things going. Marcus Whitlock Jr.
Nice looking pull-up jump shot in a crowd. Uses his length and just got to his spot, raised up over top of him, made a nice little mid-range.
Newton's going to start off with a little bit of pressure to get things going, trying to get it down low to Moodie. They'll move it back out. Now, we talked about injuries. How Gicarri Newton wasn't playing, but a guy on the bench for Grayson isn't playing, Kalen Fox. Kalen Fox, the All-American tight. Oh, look at that. Big man
block.
Says get that out of here.
Block. Castle with his first action, get to the rim. Nice block by Moodie on him, even though it didn't count.
Now, we talk about All-American football players, Kalen Fox. Kalen Fox for Grayson is out, but Newton seems to have a pretty big guy down there, number 33.
They do, man. Both teams got a lot of size. Moody's a big guy. Number 21's a big guy. I mean, they got plenty of size on both rosters right now, so it's going to be a lot of length, a lot of athleticism around here, and we should have some high-impact plays at the rim.
Here we go. Referees trying to get everything straight on the sideline.
I'm assuming 33 from Newton is a big-time football player, too. He has to be a football player.
Yes, sir. Sean Thompson. Sean Thompson is his name. Looks like he's pushed around a couple of people in his lifetime.
Yes, he has. Looks like he can clear the pathway for the running back.
I'm telling you.
Or he might be coming around the corner for the quarterback.
Yeah, either one. He's a scary young man. All right, here we go. They'll bring it back. Ashton Penniman. Castle, they'll send it over to Castle. Long range. The Burger Boy couldn't get it. Now Highland will push it up court. He's a speed demon.
Yes,
coach.
he is. And you can't teach speed. Good finish. Good putback by Moodie.
Chad Moodie. He plays above the rim. I watched him when they played Archer a couple of weeks ago. And I swear to you, Coach, he had about 4 alley-oop dunks in a row.
And I don't want people to be fooled by the school that he's going to. I mean, we're just in a time where it's difficult to get college scholarship offers if you're not a highly ranked guy. So, and if you go 10 years ago, he probably is not going to Alabama. Was it Alabama State or
Alabama A&M?
Alabama A&M. You know, he probably has offers from a little bit higher level, maybe even a Georgia State or a Kennesaw State. But that's just the era that we're in now, and he go there and make the best of his opportunity. Good shot by Gicarri Harris right there.
Gicarri Harris from long range. They will be happy to see Chad Mooney in Huntsville, Alabama. I can guarantee you that.
I think that's an absolute steal for them to get a player with his length, his athleticism, and has played in a program like this going to Alabama and A&M. I think that's a steal.
There you go, Penniman. He'll move it back out. They'll move it around. Now Neal almost lost it.
Good hands right there by Moodie.
Castle with the shovel underneath the Thompson.
Shot clock finally coming into play. You don't see that very much.
Long range. It did.
And I thought that could have been a foul on the offensive rebound and putback attempt.
Exactly, because he tried to throw it back up over his shoulder. Should have been a foul, but referee says no home cooking tonight. We're going to play this one straight up. Here we go. They'll bring it back to Howland, and I think Newton's still with that 2-3 zone.
And Grayson has been not quite paralyzed, but they've been very reluctant to attack the gaps. And they pass the ball into the interior, but you haven't seen anybody attacking the gaps off the dribble and get to the rim.
Amir Thompson will get the steal. Amir Taylor in the right place at the right time for the steal in the easy, too.
Nice skill finish with the left hand in that scenario, too.
And he's a youngster, too. He's just a sophomore. Big man's just a sophomore.
Well, like we said earlier in the pregame, Grayson has a program over there, so all their young guys are going to be a little bit more experienced, a little bit more seasoned and ready for these type of opportunities, these type of situations.
And they're going to call a travel on Gicarri Harris.
Coach Joffrey Pierce is not happy at all about he wanted his point guard to fly to the ball in that scenario and make sure that he's able to get the ball and get the team in the offense. You don't want to have turnovers 92 feet away from the rim, uncontested.
All right, here we go. 4 minutes, 45 seconds to go. Score 7-2. 7-2. Grayson on top. Oh, that's a cheap foul, but he'll take it every day of the week.
And that's something that I think has filtered down into the college and high school game. They used to only see that in the pros. The sweep through right here. This is the Kevin Durant sweep through where guys are getting those. I don't want to call them cheap because it is a foul. A foul is a foul. But they're taking advantage of the opportunity of guys reaching their hand in the cookie jar and getting to the free throw line.
One of the best ways to get points in the book is getting them on the free throw line, the easy ones.
And sometimes when you see the ball go in, it kind of can get you going as well.
First one wasn't good for Castle. Let's see what the Mickey D's All-American can do. Second one wasn't good, and they say the ball don't lie.
You know, sometimes for a guy like him who's a highly rated player, playing in a situation like this, especially when you just became a McDonald's All-American, can be tough. You know, he's probably feeling a little bit of extra pressure. He knows that people have come to see him play and have a high expectation for him. So I figured it might take him a little bit of time to settle into the game and kind of put on the show that we expect him to.
And he is the first McDonald's All-American from Newton High School.
Yeah, because Ashton did not make it.
He did not make it. He left a year early.
That's right. That's right. I forget about that. Classed up,
left a year early, so he is the first.
Because I think Ashton would have been a shoe-in.
A shoe-in, yeah. It wasn't much of a question. I'm going to be honest, he was good enough his junior year. He could have been a McDonald's All-American.
No question.
All right, here we go. 4 minutes, 20 seconds to go. Harris from long range, in and out, wouldn't stay down. Rebound brought down by Neal. Now they'll push it up court with Castle.
I think if you're Newton, you feel good about Grayson passing the ball around the perimeter and settling for three-point shots.
Nice box out. He'll bring it down. Now Harris, nice behind the back dribble. He'll kick it out to Highland for three.
That was a good play. He's got to knock that down for him.
Castle doesn't have the numbers.
Kind of surprised I didn't put Gicarri Harris on him.
Everybody on their feet.
Do you feel the energy of the crowd when he has the ball? How everybody's just waiting for him to do something?
Everybody, and you said it, everybody, all the student body stood up. When he had the ball, the student body stood up.
I mean, well before he made his move. So, I mean, that's a beautiful thing to have the student body behind you, but just can you imagine being a 17, 18-year-old kid having that pressure on you?
Look at him with that fade away right there, falling back, one leg out, knocking it down.
Great use of the ball screen, nice in and out. That's a big-time play right there.
They might find a spot for him in stores.
I guarantee they're excited to get him on campus. Oh, did Gicarri Harris try to dunk that?
He tried to. He couldn't put it down.
He tried to sneak dunk him. Man, the energy in the building. I don't know if you can feel it, you guys at home who are watching the SUV TV, but I'm telling you, it's rocking and rolling in here. The crowd is super enthusiastic, and they're into every single play, every single shot.
And the thing is, they were here about the second quarter of the girls' game. Everybody started to fill in.
I couldn't even find a park. I drove around 3 or 4 times. Hopefully my car is still out there when we get out there. I did something I probably shouldn't have did, but hopefully I'm out there when we get out.
They understand. Let's look at that block again on the baseline. Get it out of here. Jabez Jenkins coming over the top with the block.
And that's blocking Moodie. Oh, did they call foul?
Oh, they called foul.
Okay.
Wow. I thought that was a block.
Because he's a high-level athlete, so when he turns and goes into his jump hook, he's got, he's gonna elevate at a high level. So if you block his shot, you got up there too. Got to work on his free throw. Very awkward-looking free throw technique. Look at my man down here at half court demonstrating his free throw routine.
Free throw shooting has been tough for both teams tonight.
Crowd is just as entertaining as the game tonight.
Oh yeah. You know, one thing I love about high school ball, man, that student body. If you get your student body behind you and they're out there rocking, everybody's going crazy. You got the student body over there causing problems on the sideline. Love it.
First thing I said when I walked in the gym is there's nothing like a packed high school game.
Nothing
I mean, college game doesn't beat it. Pro game definitely doesn't beat it. Obviously, it's a different level of talent on the court for a pro game, but the feeling that you get when you're sitting in the crowd at a really good high school game is unmatched.
Amir trying to go to the hole, couldn't get it. Oh, there's a nice outlet. The layup, good.
Amir has a pretty high skill level for a big kid. That's a young big kid, man. He's got a chance.
He does. He's a big kid, about 6'8". He has what I call soft hands. Soft hands around the rim.
Good feet.
All he needs is work off a little bit of that baby fat.
I didn't want to say it. I'm glad you did.
But he is a skilled young player.
Looks like he has a pretty good feel for the game, too.
Yeah, his basketball IQ is really, really high. To be that young, 15 years old, 16, 15, 16, Amir Taylor, just a high basketball IQ. Uh-oh, there's a steal.
Grayson is going to have to get in these gaps and attack this zone.
Off the glass hard. They won't count the dunk.
Well, you can't tell the crowd that it didn't count.
MJ got fouled on the layup attempt.
To the SUV TV replay. Big time rebound and finish by Stephon Castle. Look at him chase down the rebound, continue to play.
Hey, the person with the hardest job tonight. We're going to get a camera shot on her a little bit later. But it's the lady at half court. It's a teacher, administrator at half
court. Trying to keep this group under wraps. They had her hand up in the huddle dancing with them earlier.
She's an administrator sitting in between all the students, trying to keep the students back off the court.
Good luck with that.
Happy.
Good luck with that.
She may be the MVP of the game. We're going to find out her name. We're going to give her a shout out. She's working the hardest.
It's been a good game, but both teams still kind of filling each other out. Neither team has been able to kind of create any separation or score with any consistency. I think Newton's pressure back to the zone has kind of taken some time off the clock and gotten Grayson to be real passive. On the other end, Newton kind of depends on Castle to make a lot of plays one-on-one, and Grayson has done a pretty good job putting bodies around him for the most part. So two well-coached teams. And I'm sure the game will open up at some point.
Ball tipped away. Which way will it stay? Referee said it'll stay down here.
Well officiated game so far because we haven't spoken about them much.
And that's always a plus.
Yeah.
That's always a plus when you're not mentioning the officials. That means they're doing their job.
Let the guys on the court decide the game.
Highland off the glass, give him 2 points.
I love his explosiveness. That's a tough floater in a crowd over length. And this is kind of what they depend on. They depend on Castle to just use his size and length and just shoot over top the defender. Number 4 has done a really good job on him. We talked about it in the pregame. I thought that Gicarri would guard him, but number 4 has done a really, really good job on him so far.
Well, Anthony Austin, he has been one of those players who stepped up for Grayson this year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, coming into the season, everybody was looking at what would Moodie do in the post. Everybody was looking at, you know, how Gicarri would lead the team or how C.J. Highland would be the explosive scorer. But Anthony Austin has been that guy who's just made a name for himself this year.
Yeah, and you got to have guys who, you know, might be unheralded but are role players that come in and do what they do. Because, you know, without the effort from the other guys, you know, you don't have a winning program.
Mm-hmm. Here we go. Whitlock working, Whitlock spinning and dealing. Getting to the free throw line one more time. Now, Castle sitting down these last 28 seconds.
Yep.
Coach Gibbons trying to get him a little bit of rest going into the end of the quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you're Newton, someone has to step up and take control.
And Whitlock will be that guy.
And Whitlock will be that guy.
Yeah. And if you're Grayson, I mean, it's not a lot of time, but if you can get a 4 or 6 point separation in these short bursts, you know, that can be big enough at the end of the game to give you a win.
Exactly. Marcus Whitlock at the free throw line, knocked down the first one. He's 2 for 3. Make it 3 for 4 for the charity strike.
Sly, I know I'm showing my age, but I just can't imagine playing with all that hair on my head.
I mean, getting my eye, you know, me being a guy with a shaved head.
Yeah.
Shave, not bald, shave.
Yeah, there's a difference.
Difference. And I'm going to stick to that story for a long time. Oh, look at the defense by Penniman.
So the Newton press finally paid off. They've been using it pretty much just to take time off the clock and kind of control tempo, but right there they were able to force a turnover. Now they're going to get the last possession of the quarter.
All right, here we go. Penniman working on the outside. Penniman. Oh, ball almost stripped away. They're going to call a kick ball. Yes.
Good call by the official.
Who are they calling the kick on? You know what? I thought Penniman might have been the one to kick it.
Coach Gibbons is not happy about the way those guys executed that set. He wanted a couple of his players in a little bit of a different formation, but he was almost all the way at half court. The official had to talk to him to get him back in his box.
All right, 1.5 seconds to go, 9-9, tie ball game. See if they can get it in for one final shot. Taylor is back court.
Yep.
Oh, it was a backcourt violation. Will officials call it, though?
I think they're going to say in the quarter, though. No, they're going to – it's going to be put some 10 seconds. Is it 1 full second or tenths of a second?
Wow, yeah, it should have been a tenth of a second because because he caught it, took a whole step.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
This could end up being a huge play if they score. I would have threw Castle back in to try to get him a tip in or something here. Not a lot of time. Should just be time enough for either tip in or catching a quick shot. Clock should have went away as soon as they tipped it.
And there you have it at the end of one. At the end of one, the score 9-9. Grayson taking on Noonan. Nobody wants uninvited guests taking up residence in their homes. No, we're not talking about the in-laws. Breda Pest Management protects you from bugs and critters. Breda has been keeping Georgia homes bug and critter-free for nearly 50 years. You can see more at www.bredapest.com. Breda Pest Management is a proud supporter of Georgia high school athletics.
Breda Pest Management proudly supports Georgia high school basketball. The Bredas believe in giving back to the communities they serve, and since 1975, Breda has protected homes from bugs and critters. See more at Breda, B-R-E-D-A, pest.com.
Welcome back, welcome back. Start of the second period. It's the SUV TV Game of the Week, brought to you by Breda Pest Management. Got us a good one, score 9-9. Both teams filling each other out in the early going. Coach, what do you think about that first quarter?
Just two really well-coached teams. Neither team was able to get going on the offensive end. I think both teams played pretty good defense, not great defense, but neither team was able to get any good looks and kind of get anything in transition as well. You see Castle right here with a nice mid-range off the ball screen. That was one of his few good looks that he was able to get. He's going to have to get loose if they want to win the game tonight.
All right, here you go.
Is he in foul trouble? I thought he would have came back in to start the second quarter.
Nah, I guess give him another, let him breathe a little bit longer, I guess. All right, here we go. They'll work it around. Newton moving around. Penniman at the free throw line, back over. Attacking the basket. Oh, a nice layup, Jabaz Jenkins.
Nice reverse. Same hand on the other side, went reverse. That's a tough finish. Nice little English off the glass. And they love to go to this little 2-2-1, three-quarter court pressure. And again, I don't think they're really trying to get steals. I think they just want to slow you down and control tempo.
Nice poke away right there by the Newton Ram defense. Now they'll push it up court. Penniman spinning. Penniman going to the basket, lost it. The follow, no good, and it's a foul.
Oh, wow.
Dwight Brown will go to the line and shoot two.
It must have been down low to me. It looked like he missed the bunny, but he might have got him down low. Had a contest down here. Oh, okay, he slapped him on the arm on the way up. That's what deterred him from finishing the shot. Moodie got him. Good call by the officials.
Officials on top of it, and free throw shooting is bad, Coach.
Yeah. Free throw shooting and perimeter jump shooting. Both teams have done a good job kind of forcing the other team to shoot either threes or contested twos. And that's why I think that we have such a low-scoring game that we have right now.
Next free throw, that'll fall down and fall on in for Dwight Brown.
Gicarri Harris is also getting an extended break for Grayson as well. This pressure has definitely slowed them down. They have not been able to penetrate the gaps. And there we finally got Moodie on the inside. He wasn't able to gather the ball. When he finally gathered it and got up, he was able to draw the foul.
Here we go. They'll send Moodie to the line, and Moodie will shoot two.
Two big free throws for him. Points are at a premium right now. They can't afford for him to go to either split or miss both free throws here.
It's that awkward form you're talking.
It is.
I'm waiting on my guy down there on the sideline in the student body.
I tried to reverse commentator curse him, but it didn't work. But yeah, the guy at half court definitely has it down to a T. He's doing the dribble with him and everything.
He'll knock that one down.
One thing you can't say when you come to Noonan is that they don't have fun at the game.
They have fun. These kids have fun. They have fun. Packed house.
Fish frying in the concession stand.
I'm telling you, it smells so good. In and out, didn't stay. Moodie will get that rebound, and now Allen will push it up court. Send it over to Allen, and Allen almost
stumbled over it, tripped over the floor.
He turns it over. Oh, and they'll turn it back the other way.
I'm not sure why Whitlock was in such a hurry to get rid of that ball, but he'll learn from his mistake. Next time you got to hold on to it and make sure that your teammate is in sync and on the same page with you when you're looking to outlet that pass.
All right, they'll move it back around. Moodie just having the butterfingers this game. Whitlock in the open court. Whitlock will lay it in. Marcus Whitlock.
This zone is giving Grayson fits. They have no answer for it right now.
Oh, throw it down, Chad Moodie.
And that's probably the best answer is to beat the zone up the court before it gets set.
And
Whitlock right back out you. Now we're getting some action.
And Coach Pierce has seen enough. Coach Pierce said, we got to slow this down.
Yeah, he didn't like that at all. Coach Pierce, one of the most underrated coaches in the state, too.
He definitely is. And look at Whitlock in the open court. Whitlock will lay it up for the easy two. And then right back at him, Chad Moodie.
Nice catch and finish and gather in the crowd. And again, anytime you can beat that zone up the court, just gives you opportunity to score.
That Chad Moody's a pogo stick. He is a pogo stick. And I wonder about him when he goes to Alabama A&M. I actually watched it. I was home this afternoon. And I saw Alabama A&M was playing Prairie View. We're playing Prairie View on TV today.
Who won?
I had to leave.
Okay.
I had to leave. I came home to get me some food before I went on back. I was in my area, and I went on back to work. But I saw a little bit of the Alabama A&M game, and I said, hey, Chad Moodie will be there.
I'm pretty sure he'll be a high-impact guy from the day he steps on campus.
Mm-hmm. And also Bilal Abdul-Rahman from Norcross.
That's right. The point guard that was at WD Muhammad.
Yep. At Norcross now, he's going to Alabama A&M with Moodie.
So they dipped into Georgia and came in and got two pretty good players.
Came in and got two good ones, Alabama A&M did. All right, here we go. 5 minutes, 42 seconds to go.
So far, Whitlock has probably been the best player on the court.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
He's really made his presence felt in transition.
I call him Big Game Whitlock because in that upper state championship, Whitlock, I think he had 30. I think he had 5 threes in the first half.
He's on his way to 20-plus tonight. That could have been a travel on Moodie. And then he was looking for his perimeter player to drift to the corner to give him a passing lane, but no one moved, and he ran out of real estate on the baseline.
He ends up throwing it away. We see you out there in the chat, Charles Nana. Sending congratulations to Castle on his McDonald's All-American. Yeah, it is something about that water in the 404. Something in the water in the 404. Whitlock from long range. Can't get it. Rebound brought down by Allen. Now Allen will push it. 1-on-3 fast break blocked.
And I thought that time he had a really easier open lane on the left-hand side. We'll see here on the drive. Kept it. He thought he had the defender, tried to use the rim to protect him, but Castle was on his right side. If he lays it up on the left, there's nobody to block his shot on that side.
Let's use that left hand. Oh, the nice spin away came up way short. Didn't touch anything.
This Newton defense, man, it's really got Grayson perplexed right now. They can't figure out a way to get to the rim outside of Moodie for the two dunks that he's had. They haven't had any other finishes at the rim.
You know, they're playing that zone well.
They are.
Keeping them out of the middle of the lane. And here's the thing. Grayson isn't shooting them out of the zone either.
They're not. Early in the game, they were passing the ball around the perimeter and took some looks from three that weren't bad looks, but, you know, the rim gets smaller and smaller. When you miss 2 or 3 of those, you get a little bit more uncomfortable. And now it kind of looks like they're searching for some opening, and they haven't been able to penetrate that zone at all.
Now, Coach, how do you attack the 2-3 zone? What do you do?
Typically, you want to throw the ball into the high post area They're playing more of an amoeba than a 2-3, so they kind of got a guard who's manning that high post area, so it's been difficult to get the ball into the high post. But you want to either get the ball to the high post and dive your guys on the short corner to the rim, and then find guys spacing out from the perimeter, or you want to throw the ball to the short corner and dive your guy who's at the high post. And usually the 5-man is in a conundrum. Does he go take the ball, or does he take the guy who's diving to the rim? But you have to attack it from the inside out. If you continue to pass the ball around the perimeter and shoot contested jump shots, then the zone is doing exactly what it should do.
Tie up on the other end. The possession arrow says it'll go to Grayson. Possession arrow sends it to Grayson.
But this is when Newton's at their best. Whenever they're able to get into this 2-2-1 pressure, slow Grayson down and then get back into the zone. Look, they're not even trapping. They're just trying to take some time off the clock. And Grayson now, like they don't know, they haven't found an offense yet that's been able to get inside on the zone.
Oh!
That's been their best offense, but they've done a good job surrounding him and taking the ball out of his hands. But when Moodie has caught it one-on-one situations, whenever the big fella's not in, he's been pretty efficient down there.
And now there's your substitution. Big Sean Thompson coming back into the game.
It's not nearly as easy to throw the ball into the post when Sean Thompson's in the game. Nice baseline out of bounds play. Moodie has to make that shot. You can't get a better look than that, 2 feet in the paint.
Got to use that little square thing on the backboard. That white square on the backboard is there for a reason.
Yes, it is. Castle right there trying to be unselfish. He was in point guard mode, tried to hit the big fella running down the middle. Probably should have held on to that for 1 second longer to let Sean Thompson clear the defense, and he would have been able to catch the ball for a layup.
All right, here we go. 4 minutes, 8 seconds to go. 16-12, home team on top. Gicarri on the outside.
He's one of the few guys, I'm pretty sure he might be the only guy who's made a 3 so far for them. He's 1 for 2 from 3. Tried to get to the rim there.
For both squads, the only person who's made a 3.
Yeah, both teams have really struggled to make the perimeter shots.
Using that screen, there's your roll. Big man puts it up too strong.
And he waited on Sean Thompson to roll, but he probably was a second too late. He would have been able to drop it to him for an easier play if he would have rolled immediately after the point guard cleared him.
You know, one thing about Newton, they always bring one guy from the football team to play in the post, and always does a great job. I remember they had Dre Butler a couple of years ago.
Well, most times when you're in Georgia, you're going to have some really good athletes that play football, and if you can sneak them out here on the basketball court, that just makes it easier.
Ashton Pennyman going to the hole and laying it in for 2.
Big time finish. A little bit of a matador defense by Gicarri Harris right there, but nice finish by Pennyman getting all the way to the rim.
Good to see Pennyman back. Pennyman was hurt in the early season. He missed most of the first part of the season. I think he was out all the way up to January. He was hurt.
Castle able to weave, probe the defense, get all the way to the rim. Coach Joffrey Pierce asking for a jump ball, but I think there was some contact on the body on the lower side. We'll see here on the SUV replay. Oh, yeah, that's clearly a foul. He hit him with his chest on his shoulder. There's no way that's not a foul call. Good call by the officials.
But you know what, though? I like that by Taylor. I like that by Taylor. Taylor, go ahead and establish this is your lane.
Yeah.
Establish. You're going to come in here. You're going to pay for it for coming in here. Nothing easy.
You know, we always had a no layup rule. You know, you don't want to allow anybody from the opposing team to get a dunk, get their hands on the rim, or get a layup. If they come in there, you want them to feel some contact and let them know that, you know, everything that you get on the interior tonight, you're going to have to earn.
I am a firm believer in the no layup rule. That's one reason I guess I'm not a coach, because I talk about football players. I'd have 2 on my team, 2 or 3 on my team with absolutely no skill or athletic ability. They just have 5 fouls. That's all I need.
That could be, there's some value in that.
Nice backdoor cut. Couldn't get it. He'll be fouled and he'll go to the line. Now that is the one part. We talked about Taylor and his great upside, his basketball IQ.
Good hands right there.
His good footwork, his soft hands. We talked about all of that the youngster has. But I would love to see him turn some of that baby fat into muscle and get a little bit more explosive.
Around the rim, yeah, because you could see Moodie was waiting on him to cut. He's probably a second or 2 late on the cut, but when he finally did cut, If he catches that and he goes straight to the rim with any type of force and aggression, that's probably an and one dunk. And hopefully next year that's what that will be.
That's what the offseason is for.
And again, free throws and points are at a premium, and both teams have missed several free throws so far early in this game.
Here we go. They'll move it back around. Now Grayson is in that 2-3 zone. Since neither team can shoot well tonight, we'll play zone.
Oh, the crowd would have went crazy if we would have made that.
Now Highland. They'll push it up. Taylor. Moodie wants it down low.
Yeah, I thought he should have gave it to him a second earlier, but by the time he located him, he wasn't able to get him the ball.
Highland attacking the basket too strong off the backboard.
He's a blur out there, man.
I tell you, this kid is super fast. Gicarri to the lane, laying it up for two.
There we go. Gicarri Harris finally able to attack the gap in the zone. Was able to probe, go to a jump stop, and finish with the left hand. Big time finish by a big time player.
Gicarri just such a smooth player.
He is. Stays within himself. Doesn't try to do things that he can't do. But they probably need him to be a little bit more aggressive tonight if they want to win this game.
Get that out of here. Castle with the block. Going to the basket. No, couldn't get it.
And that's the athleticism we need Taylor to finish with at the rim right there.
Athleticism and meanness. Yeah. I want you to be mean going to the lane. 3-ball on the outside. No, couldn't get it.
High level pass by Stephon Castle from the right wing all the way to the corner. Bullet pass. That's a high level pass there.
Just got to knock it down. Under a minute to go. Highland working on off that double screen. Highland sends it back over to Taylor. Now Moodie wanted it down low. Couldn't get it past the big body. I tell you what. Sean Thompson's doing a great job on Moodie of just being big.
He is. And he, as good a player as Moodie is, Sean Thompson is just physical, stronger, and a little nastier. And you know, you don't get to play against that type of girth every day. So I think Moody's getting a little frustrated not being able to get the position that he's used to getting.
And that's why you miss a guy like Colin Fox. Now, Colin Fox isn't quite as big as Sean Thompson, but Colin Fox is an All-American four-star tight end, defensive end.
That's looking for contact.
That's looking, not afraid of it at all. So you missed having a player like that banging against a big guy like Thompson, kind of free up Moodie a little bit.
Those guys probably could have, X'd each other out with their physicality. But now Sean Thompson has a little bit of an advantage going against guys who are a little frailer than him and more basketball guys versus the football type of contact that he's used to.
But you know what? This is also a good matchup for Moodie, to let him know what he needs to do next year.
Yeah.
Next year, he's going to be playing against grown men. He's going to be playing against people who've been on a college weight program, a college meal program, and they're going to have about 20 or 30 pounds of muscle on them.
I would agree, and hopefully he will add some muscle as well. Every time you get in a game like this, you can either learn what to do or what not to do. So hopefully he's using this as like you said, a learning lesson moving forward, what can help him become a better player when he gets to the college level.
All right, here we go. Had a little exchange, man. I tell you, man,
I don't know what just happened. They keep waving at the Grayson. Are they waving at the Grayson cheerleaders because the Newton cheerleaders are doing a cheer right now? I'm a little slower and older. I'm not quite sure what's going on.
But it's coordinated.
It is coordinated.
It's coordinated. The student body and the cheerleading section are together. I love it.
I feel like the whole Newton County community is in unison tonight.
I'm telling you. Nobody's on the streets of Covington tonight.
No.
Here we go. They'll move it around. Free throw line jumper, turn around. No, can't get it. Now Highland will have it.
Huge possession for Grayson right here. I'm not sure, but if I had to guess, they would try to take the last shot.
1 second separates the shot clock and the game clock.
And one thing that separates high school and college is Newton probably should have shot the ball a little bit earlier to go 2 for 1, but I guess it doesn't matter if Grayson's going to take that kind of shot with 18 seconds on the clock anyway.
All right, here we go, 15 seconds. Castle will have it. Castle calling for the screen. Castle gets the screen, attacking, free throw line, pull up, knock it down.
And that's been his game so far tonight. Gets around that free throw line area and shoot right over top the defense.
That'll do it at the end of the first half. The score, Grayson 15, Noonan 22. It's the SUV TV Game of the Week brought to you by Breda Pest Management.
Breda Pest Management proudly supports Georgia high school basketball. The Bredas believe in giving back to the communities they serve, and since 1975, Breda has protected homes from bugs and critters. See more at Breda, BREDA, pest.com.
Supermarket sushi, really?
No. Wait, Troy, you work here?
I'm never not working. Like Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology, up to 100% dandruff protection, even between washes.
Never not working, huh?
Oh, Troy, you're such a good teacher.
Yeah, I know. Never not working. Never not working. Never ever not working.
Are you serious?
Never not working. Dandruff protection that's never not working. Head & Shoulders Scalp Shield technology.
Welcome back to the SUV TV Game of the Week, brought to you by Breda Pest. Hey, Coach Dal LeBerry, I'm Sylvester Williams. They call me Slaughter Sports Guy. The game has been okay in the first half, but at halftime, my goodness, these kids, these kids.
If we could just get the energy of the game to match the energy of the crowd, we'll have one of the best games in the country right now.
I'm telling you, here we go. All right, first jumper is off to start the half. Now Newton are having in Newton a move it around. And I think Grayson's going back to man. Solid screen on the outside from Thompson. This time he rolled, but Castle kept it. And that's why Castle kept it.
And that's why he's been best at it. He's been trying to get to about 10, 11 feet and just use his height to shoot right over top of the defender. Hadn't really been able to get all the way to the rim and hadn't settled for threes, but a lot of mid-range jump shots tonight.
And Gicarri Harris will get that one to roll.
Now, that was a high-level play. It's only the second time we've seen him be able to get all the way to the rim and finish in the crowd tonight. Big-time finish.
Gicarri just so smooth.
Oh, wow. The officials letting him play. I mean, it was verticality, but it was a lot of contact.
3 ball, that one doesn't go, and Highland will get the rebound. Yeah, officials have been quiet this game.
Yes, they have. Good catch. Let's see what Moodie can do with it against Big Sean Thompson. See how he avoided the contact against Sean Thompson?
You know, when everybody else was underneath the lane, and when it was Neal down there, he would lean into him. He would take his weight to him. But Big Sean Thompson, he kind of leans back from him.
Not kind of. He definitely leaned back from him and threw a left-handed jump hook that we have not seen him take all game today.
That's a lot of man underneath that basket, Coach.
There he is. He's been to the free throw line several times today and has not been fortunate enough to hit. I'm glad he was able to knock one down there. It'd be nice if he can make this one as well, cut this lead to 5. I'm not sure if Grayson's going to do any type of pressure similar to what Newton has done. I think they've been pretty consistent with getting back to man-to-man.
He'll knock down that free throw, so that'll give him 3 for 7 from the line. Not a good shooting percentage at all.
That's something he's going to have to improve on as he moves on to the next level.
Castle will have it on the outside. Now Thompson, send it over to Pennyman.
Okay, nice diagonal action here. They're trying to get Castle in the mid-post area.
The turnaround jumper no good, and Moodie working on the double-double.
So I think Coach Givens is trying to manufacture ways to get Castle closer to the rim. Good catch and finish right there, though.
Amir Teller, and I keep talking about all the positives of Amir Teller. Like you said, catch and finish. Caught it, went up with that baby hook off the glass, man. That's a nice post move right there.
He showed his skill level several times in this game. The one thing that we've both discussed is when his body matches up with the maturation and some physicality and some athleticism and some aggression at the rim. Now you got a guy who's not only skilled but also able to score a little bit deeper. You got a special player.
Let him get in there with that Grayson football team in the weight room. Get that aggression, get that meanness out of him.
One of the best teams in the country, too.
I'm telling you.
Oh, wow.
Almost threw it away, but Harris with a nice bounce pass. Oh, he tried to flush it.
Yes, he did.
Couldn't get it. It'll roll out of bounds, and it'll be Newton ball. But I like the fact that Moodie attempted it.
Me too. And that was also a great catch and pass by Gicarri Harris to Moodie. Look at that in between the cracks. And there was a little bit of contact there, but we talked about it multiple times. The officials are going to let these 10 guys on the court decide the game tonight.
One thing about Gicarri Harris, wherever Gicarri Harris decides he wants to go, he is going to be a great point guard. Where his vision, his court vision, you see how smooth he is getting to the basket.
Yep.
Has a good shot on the outside. Gicarri Harris.
Great move and finish right here by Gicarri Harris.
Look out, just smooth going to the hole, man. And he already has a frame, too. He has that frame to where he can play point guard somewhere.
What I like best about him is he just kind of plays within himself and plays the game the right way.
Yes.
Not a whole lot of flash, a lot of substance. Going to just take the shots the way they come. And then he's going to be a good, solid defender, rebound the ball, play with some toughness and some energy as well. I think he's the kind of guy that comes into your program, probably plays a little bit earlier than people anticipate, and he's going to help you win a lot of games.
Exactly. And just a junior, too. Got a whole nother year.
I think next year you'll probably see him take even a bigger step because he's still, to me, I would like to see him a little bit more aggressive. I think he just kind of goes with the flow now, but next year I think he'll start to assert himself more as a senior.
And look at M.J. Whitlock with the back cut and then finishing underneath the basket.
He showed us his athleticism and his flair for the dramatic, finishing around the rim on several occasions tonight.
All that with the hair flopping in his face.
They're all over the place.
Pennyman with the rebound. Now they'll push it up court. 5 minutes, 16 seconds to go.
On the Newton side, I think Penniman is a guy that we probably need to see get to the rim a little bit more and break down the defense as well. That should have been a turnover. Very fortunate.
Castle on the outside. Castle crossing over, pulling up at the elbow. Comes up short.
I think if you're Grayson, you'll live with him taking that shot. He's made several of them, but the analytics guys will tell you that the contested jump shot is one of the worst shots in basketball. On the other end, big-time finish in the crowd by Gicarri Harris, who's now starting to insert his will on top of this game right now.
9 points for Gicarri. 9 points for Gicarri. Scoring is picking up.
9 points is like 30 in this game. It's 26-23.
Now Neal on the outside. They'll send it over to Harris. Harris being guarded by Austin. Austin's been quiet this game. And they're going to call the foul on Austin.
Yeah, I think Castle saw the big man came and set a ball screen more centered. He was going to refuse the screen because there was no help on the baseline side, and use his size to get that nice little mid-range shot that he's taken on several occasions tonight, but was able to draw the foul prior to getting the shot off.
All right, here we go. Penniman up top. Castle from long range. Count it.
One of his few threes tonight, though. Nice smooth touch. Shout out to the crowd after he made the shot. And that's why they like him. That's why he's a McDonald's All-American. When you have that kind of size and athleticism, but you can also shoot the ball from the perimeter, you're going to be a guy that, a lot of people would like to have in there playing for their team in college.
They're going to call charge. I think Jenkins stepped up and took one for the team.
And here's the replay by Stephon Castle. Look how deep this three is. He's 2 or 3 feet behind the high school line. That's well within the college line right there. Knocked it down nice and calm and casual.
It's a pretty shot, man. Just
very smooth stroke for a guy his size. And now Grayson decides to go to a 2-2-1 of their own. And again, I'm not sure that they were playing the 2-2-1 to force a turnover. I think they were just using it to slow Newton down and give him something to think about, but they were able to get a backcourt call.
all right, here we go. Harris trying to call for it. Now Harris, he'll send it back over to Austin. Now Highland. Highland on the outside.
A little bit of confusion on what Grayson wanted to do right there. Now the shot clock's down to 17, so the zone has done its job. Good catch and finish by Taylor.
I tell you, man, we talk about it, those soft hands and good feet of Amir Teller.
And that's with the offhand, left-handed finish in a crowd. That's a big-time play.
They'll move it back over. 4-point ball game, 3 minutes, 19 seconds to go. Castle drops it off. They'll kick it back out. Nice ball movement. Back out to Castle. Sends it over the shoulder. 3-ball, Prather. Count it.
Good shot. Moodie did a good job being a deterrent at the rim, but 2 extra passes by Newton County, and they were able to find a 3-point shot in the corner. That's their second made 3 of the game, second of this half as well.
Highland sends it over to Harris. Harris back out to Highland. Highland wide open for 3.
Shoots a little bit of a knuckleballer from the perimeter. Good pass by Gicarri Harris.
Drop off and the travel. Good block by Moodie.
He's been a defensive presence in the second half for sure.
Now Austin travel.
Yeah. Got ahead of himself. And Coach Joffrey Pierce is telling Highland that that's your opportunity right there in transition when the defense is not set and they're scattering. Take advantage of your quickness and your explosiveness and attack the rim. Create some type of advantage, and then you find somebody for an open shot versus just catching it and kicking it to the corner right there.
All right, here we go. 2 minutes, 25 seconds to go. 3-ball out of the corner, knock it down.
Second one back-to-back, right?
Well, nope, that's Jabaz Jenkins. That's his first 3 of the night.
But that's 3 threes in the second half for Newton County, and now they've got up to a 10-point lead. First time a double-digit lead in this game.
Gicarri going to the basket and laying it in for 2. Gicarri Harris.
And he has some unique finishes around the rim. I mean, that's a tough finish on the left side, right hand, underneath, scoop. It's the 3rd time this game he's been able to beat his man off the dribble, but play with a lot of poise and patience and find an angle to put the ball in the basket.
The layup package is on full display.
It is. He also tried to sneak dunk him earlier in the game on the baseline side as well. Oh, that could have been a steal right there. Highland should have got that one.
That's some contact underneath the basket away from the ball. While we got this little break here, man, everybody out here watching, everybody watching the game, man, let us know what you think. If you're in the comment section on YouTube, let us know who you're going for. If you're watching on one of the apps on TV, on your Roku TV, Amazon Prime TV, all the Apple TV you're watching on that SUV TV app, check us out. Let us know, man. Tweet us at SUV TV. Oh, look at that shot. Stephon Castle.
He's just smooth as silk, man. He knows when he gets to a certain spot on the court that the defender has no chance contesting or blocking his shot, so he'll just shoot that mid-range right over top of you. And Gicarri Harris kind of settled for that one right there. Looked like he didn't really want to take it, but he was open enough where he decided to take the shot. That's his first time getting matched up with Castle and forces an air ball. I'm kind of surprised that we haven't seen him defend him more. I think maybe because it's a low-scoring game and they probably don't want to wear him out, that they've saved him. But at some point, if they want to win this game, Gicarri is going to have to guard him. And
I think it may have been the fear of foul trouble, too.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want your best player getting in foul trouble guarding their best player. So.
Especially if he's going to have to score the ball as well, because scoring has been at a premium for them. I think he has 9 or 11 points, and they only have 27.
Yeah, and the thing is with Highland's another guy who can just drop you 20 at any time, but he's a smaller guy.
He hasn't been able to get going at all.
Oh, look at him. Look at the big man working on the inside. Amir Taylor.
It's pretty much been the Taylor and Harris show, and then Moodie obviously has had some dunks as well, but those two guys have done the bulk of the scoring so far for Grayson tonight.
Look at the big man, how he uses his body so well. And one thing I like about him, he uses the far hand to make these layups. He's ambidextrous around the rim.
We had a left-hand jump hook last time he called it. Now he goes to the right-hand jump hook, and he can use angles. He can shoot the mid-range. He's a skilled kid, man. Really good player, especially for a young kid. And I think that Newton is going to their customary. They like to get a break for Stephon Castle at the end of the first and end of the third quarter here. So this is an opportunity for Grayson to try to go on a little bit of a run.
Pennyman from long range. I'm sorry, MJ Whitlock.
Whitlock senses when Castle goes out the game, and the ball seems to find him, and he finds a way to score when he's the primary scorer on the court. Is that over the basket? He tried to make one over the basket.
He tried to.
I saw Drew Holiday do that against the Hawks a couple weeks ago.
But you know what, though? Even though he didn't make that, he got fouled. He's going to the line. I like that out of Harris.
Me too.
I want Harris to force the issue now.
He has to. He has no choice. When you got 30 points and we're going into the fourth quarter, if you're one of the leaders on the team, one of the better players on the offensive end, you're going to have to kind of start to impose your will on the game if you want to win.
Harris knocks down the first free throw.
Something I haven't seen in a while, man. Both teams wearing a team-issued shoe. That's a rare thing nowadays.
Rare thing. You don't see the team shoe anymore.
It was very common when I played, but now guys are taught, this culture is taught to be very individualistic and wear bright colors and colors that don't even match the uniform.
Exactly.
So this just shows you we have two old-school coaches that are good coaches that are going to, force the team concept on their guys.
Here we go. Getting down, almost 10 seconds. Do we have?
Should have been a 5-second count. He didn't create any separation.
Yep, I think that's what they call 5 seconds.
Could be a huge possession right here, a huge swing for Grayson if they can get a basket here, cut this to a 6-point lead.
6-point lead is a lot more manageable than 8 points. Here we go. Harris will have it. Harris being guarded by Pennyman. Harris going straight to the hole, blocked.
Good way to stay with it, though. Good finish. He's played much better in this second half. He's been the best player on the court in the third quarter. Great job by Gicarri Harris. Look at the SUV TV replay. Good aggressive drive. Ball was swatted away. Stayed with it. Found the angle. Able to put it in and cut this to a 6-point lead.
Well, there you have it. 6-point lead. The score, Newton 40, Grayson 34. Going into the fourth quarter on the SUV TV Game of the Week. Brought to you by Breda Pest. Nobody wants uninvited guests taking up residence in their homes. No, we're not talking about the in-laws. Breda Pest Management protects you from bugs and critters. Breda has been keeping Georgia homes bug and critter free for nearly 50 years. You can see more at www.bredapest.com. Breda Pest Management is a proud supporter of Georgia high school athletics.
Breda Pest Management proudly supports Georgia high school basketball. The Bredas believe in giving back to the communities they serve, and since 1975, Breda has protected homes from bugs and critters. See more at Breda, B-R-E-D-A, pest.com.
Welcome back.
Come on. You can't turn it over out of the break.
Out of the break, it was almost a turnover, but we'll stay down here with Grayson.
Coach Joffrey Pierce, being a point guard himself, puts a lot of pressure on Highland to deliver the ball and know the nuances of being a point guard. And he didn't give Gicarri enough time to clear the defender and get open to catch the ball right there. They're very fortunate to get a jump ball call and retain possession.
Here we go. Harris will come back out top. Looking down low for Moodie, but he'll keep it. Harris spinning in the lane, slipped, almost lost it.
Very fortunate right there. Taylor's got to catch that in the crowd. Pass was a little hot, but in a game like this, where you need baskets, you got to find a way to catch those passes.
And right now, with Moodie and Taylor on the court, they have the height advantage in the post.
Castle came back in a little sooner than he did in the second quarter. They brought him back immediately to start. I think Coach Gibbons understands the value of each possession right now. And look at, we got Gicarri Harris guarding Castle too. Forces a turnover.
Mm-hmm. Difference when you put a bigger player on the best player.
Oh, wow, but he gives it right back.
Which way will that go? They'll stay down here. It'll be Grayson ball.
Very fortunate. He probably kept it one dribble too long right there. I love that he's trying to be aggressive, but you do have to know when you draw crowds, you're going to have to get off the ball a little bit quicker and create spacing. And now Coach Joffrey Pierce will give him a break. Who's going to provide the scoring with Gicarri Harris off the court?
It's C.J. Highland has been quiet this evening. He only has 2 points. They expect a lot more out of C.J. Austin got away with the travel. Nope, the ball don't lie. It'll go back the other way. Pushing it up court. Kicks it out to Castle. Castle at that elbow to mid-range. Couldn't get it.
Uh-oh, and this should be an easy basket for Highland right here with the speed.
Oh, look at the hand.
That's good defense by Penniman, but Highlands also have to have more self-awareness. When you're being chased down by a guard there, you're going to have to go into your Euro step package or your slow down package and try to get that ball to the rim. You can't not get a ball to the rim in that scenario.
And he had 2 trailers behind him, both of them can get up over the rim.
And Moodie's a high rise. You can see him throw his hands in there. He knows if you call for the lob or that's an area right there. Penniman was running so fast, it would have been no chance for him to contest the lob.
Mm-hmm. Highland's young, though. Highland is young, so hopefully these are the things that you're going to learn. But if you're Chad Moodie, you need him to learn them tonight.
Well, if you're Joffrey Pierce, you want him to learn them right now because it's a 6-point game. That could have been a 4-point game. That's a little bit more manageable. You're trying to chip away and get into this lead every second you can.
Now, you notice Moodie was working in the post, and they were making a deliberate effort to get Moodie the ball in the post. Yep. And then what does Coach Charlemagne Gibbons do? He say, slow down.
Go to the big fella.
Let me bring my big fella back in the game.
The good thing about Grayson, though, is they have Taylor and Moodie, so one of them should have a mismatch at some point.
And right now,
Thompson can't guard both of them.
Right now, it looks like MJ Whitlock. Oh, ball stripped and going the other way with Castle.
Noon's got to find a way to score in a situation. They had a 4-on-2, and they turned it into a contested 3. Like, you got to get a layup out of those. Great rebound right there. Taylor's got to come up with that. Castle's going to settle the guys down. Coach Gibson wants him to go high ball screen.
And look at Castle attacking the basket, taking the contact, and he'll go to the line and shoot 2.
And earlier, Moodie did a much better job going verticality, making body-to-body contact. You see right here, Castle, patience, poise, Moodie, instead of going verticality, tried to come over and contest and swats down. The official has no choice but to call a foul in that scenario. Good job putting pressure on the defense, getting to the rim.
And I like what you say about verticality, going straight up. You know, they say you have from the floor to the ceiling. That's your space. You can go straight up if you're the defender and not get called for the foul.
And you can even, what I don't think defenders realize is you can make contact as long as you're in your verticality spot. So what's going to happen is the offensive player is going to bounce off of you, and you'll have, you know, that would be you've legally defended the rim.
Castle misses both free throws. To be a big-time scorer, Castle has to improve on his work from the charity stripe.
I would also like to see him get to the rim and finish with a little bit more athleticism as well. Gicarri Harris got his ankle stepped on right there in that scenario in the scrum at half court. Looks like he's okay, though. Newton squanders another opportunity to score in transition, and that's been the story of this ball game. Both teams have had several opportunities where they had 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, and they just weren't able to put the ball in the basket, and that's why we got such a low-scoring game.
Coach is trying to find the right mix. Highland coming back into the game. Tim Prather coming back into the game.
A lot of missed free throws in this game as well, man.
Sorry, that wasn't Prather. That was Kevon Jeffries.
And now Whitlock will get his last break of the game. Sure, coach will bring him back in for the down stretch. 7-point ball game, 6 minutes left. Noon's able to set up in that pressure, that 2-2-1 that has bothered Grayson all night.
All right, here we go. Highland sends it over to Gatlin. Now back to Highland. Highland.
But see, the pressure has done its job. It's 22 seconds, and they're just now initiating. They've just now made their first pass to the wing. One pass so far in this whole offensive possession. Tough shot for Gicarri Harris, and I think Newton will live with him taking a fadeaway, spinning over the wrong shoulder off the backboard.
Here we go, 5 minutes, 20 seconds, 5 minutes, 20 seconds. Ball turned over. Highland with the steal. Highland in the open court. Highland will cruise on in for
And
two.
that's why we want Gicarri Harris going Stephon Castle from the beginning. He gets a tip, deflection. Highland tips the ball back to him. Look at this play right here. Highland throws it to him. Smart play to throw it right back to Highland, who's able to make the uncontested layup. All with a little length and anticipation.
And, you know, you talk about that defensive matchup, you know, with Harris being so big. Harris is a big guy. Harris is about, what did you say, Harris 6'1", 6'2", you know, solid 170, 180 type kid. He's a big guy, long arms. He might even grow a couple of more inches before it's all said and done.
Yep, and he's not afraid of this moment of guarding a guy who's supposed to be a McDonald's All-American guy. And a lot of being a great defender is having the confidence in yourself that you are athletic enough to defend a big-time play on the offensive end.
His freshman year, played on that Grayson team.
That was his way on the court, was being a defender.
Exactly.
He almost forced another turnover right there. That was almost a travel on
almost
Castle.
traveled. Pull up at the free throw line, knock it down. Tim Prather.
Huge shot right there by Prather. Newton needed it. They were reeling a little bit, struggling to score. Now that Gicarri's gotten on Castle, he hadn't been able to get going, so they needed one of their other guys to make a basket.
Taylor will have it on the baseline. Taylor tied up.
Oh, wow. I thought that should have been a foul call.
You know, that is my pet peeve of all the high school basketball. The alternating possession on the jump ball. I do not like it. I think if it's a jump ball, go ahead and let them jump. I am not a fan of the alternating possession on the jump ball.
Well, they've added the shot clock. They've given you some more rules, but I don't think they're ready to do everything.
I just need them to change that one too. And then we'll work on the no charge zone underneath the basket.
Good luck with that one. Oh, wow.
Castle attacking the basket. Count it. Good.
Talked about it earlier. We would love to see him get all the way to the rim. That time he's able to bully ball Gicarri off of the pin down, off of the DHO. Gets all the way to the rim. Could have been called a hook if we're being completely honest here.
Oh, he did call it a hook.
Yeah, that was the call.
The
right call.
Did call it a hook. Yes, sir.
He hooked him.
Take away the basket. Take away the basket.
I don't think all our cameramen like that call, but I saw a hook from up here too. I agree with it.
He stuck the hook out there. All right, 4 minutes, 20 seconds. Now Harris will have it. Being guarded by Jeffries. Harris blows right by Jeffries. Harris spins, goes up, comes up way short.
And unfortunately, he's having to force shots right now just because the other guys haven't been able, or they haven't shown the ability to beat their man off the dribble. And that's probably a little bit of a rush and a force right there. I know he needs to be aggressive, but he's got to let the game come to him as well.
Call the foul on the ground. They call it on the ground.
Might be a little bit of a makeup call there.
So the one ref didn't like the hook call. So
he did.
So he said, "I'll call this touch foul."
He said, "Next opportunity I get, I'll give it back to Newton." Whitlock makes his way back into the game.
Whitlock's type of player that every coach can find some room for a guy like MJ Whitlock. His recruiting, he hadn't committed yet, but young man's been offered by a few D1 programs.
Anytime you can play with that kind of energy and you have this type of enthusiasm and athleticism, he'll find a scholarship and he'll go somewhere and play well. The big fella, he's got to finish that one under the rim. He gave himself up as a football player right there because a basketball player makes that shot.
Highland attacking. He'll pull up at the elbow, in and out. Highland having a tough shooting night tonight. Couldn't keep it down.
Shoots a bit of a knuckleballer, but got to his spot right there. That's a good look. I think Coach Joffrey Pierce will take that shot 9 times out of 10.
7-point ball game. 3 minutes. 3 minutes, 20 seconds to go. They'll move it around. Whitlock sends it over to Castle. Castle at the elbow. Count it.
And one.
Count it. Stephon Castle.
He's much more comfortable in that 9 to 15 feet range. Comes off of a nice curl. Great set call by Coach Gibbons. Instead of having him up top where the defense could load on him. Right here you see him come off the DHO. Called a charge on him right there, but great dexterity.
Now here's a question right here. We had a user say, Edward said, why are the cheerleaders behind the goal when players are shooting free throws? Shouldn't that be illegal? He did not know they were allowed that in high school.
They are, and there's no space for them to be anywhere else.
Exactly. Oh, yeah, it's a jam-packed house. They have about 19 to 20 cheerleaders over there.
Both Grayson and Newton County both have about the same number of cheerleaders. Good finish. That's a huge play right there for Grayson. They needed a other guy to make a shot. Great drive and finish right there. Gicarri Harris was kind of used as a decoy in the corner. He was able to get all the way to the rim and finish with the left hand, as you can see on the SUV TV replay.
Corey Gatlin will get a chance for 3 the old-fashioned way.
Gatlin can make this free throw. He cuts it to a 2-possession ball game.
The lead is always fluctuated right around 6 to 10 points since halftime.
Grayson just has not been able to score with any consistency. And anytime Newton needed a basket, Stephon Castle's finding a way to get to his mid-range game. Almost got a backcourt right there. That's a backcourt violation.
Good defensive presence. Look at Corey Gatlin. Corey Gatlin got the 3-point play. Now he forced the backcourt penalty.
I think Newton County probably initiated their offense too far out. They need to get a little bit
look
deeper.
At the steal
wow,
by
they give
Penny,
it right back up. Huge play. You don't want to give that up in a tight ball game and just give them a layup.
Ashton Pennyman with the steal and the easy 2.
And then we got another unfortunate play to bounce off the referee, and Castle finishes with the athleticism. Now he's down to a 10-point ball game. Back-to-back turnovers by Grayson. Carelessness with the ball. And look, very unfortunate bounce that goes off the official, because that could have easily went out of bounds.
And look at him. And here's the thing, all you young kids out there to know, the referee is a part of the basketball court.
Yes, he is. He
is a part of the basketball court. So that ball is not out of bounds. It is not dead if it touches the referee. Hey, we give shout outs. We give shout outs, but we need to give a shout out down there to the young lady in the gray, the teacher in the gray. The teacher in the gray at halftime, at half court. That is Dr. Shannon Buff. Dr. Shannon Buff at half court on the other side of the court. She's in charge of the student section. You see her right there. She has the hardest.
And she's singing. I love to see it. So she's having fun with the kids versus being all strict and stringent. Love to see a teacher allow these kids to, have some individualism and have fun, but also stay under control and stay disciplined at the same time.
Shout out to Dr. Shannon Buff holding things down over there in the student section. That's the toughest job, the toughest job in the whole building tonight.
I'm surprised these young boys know the words to this song.
Oh, this Frankie Beverly Mays, man. You will not be allowed at any cookout if you don't know Frankie Beverly and Mays.
Their uncles and dads and grandparents would be proud.
I tell you, man. Frankie Beverly and Mays. Or Mays featuring Frankie Beverly. Depends on who you are. If you play in the band your whole life, it's Mays featuring Frankie Beverly. If you're a singer, it's Frankie Beverly and Mays. All right, here we go. Back to the game.
Yeah, Grayson, man. 2 major unforced turnovers right before the break that allowed this lead to jump from a 6-point game that was within reach to a 10-point game, and now they're desperate to get a couple quick baskets here.
Howland trying to get to the basket, couldn't get it to go.
He's struggling, man. This has been a tough game for him. I think the size and the length for Newton and the way they've compacted that zone, he hadn't been able to get free and get loose and create a lot of angles, so it's been a struggle for him all night.
Pull-up jumper, no good. The rebound.
High-level rebound and finish over Moodie.
Jabez Jenkins cleaning up the boards and getting contact for the and one.
Huge play. And now Newton they're just getting a lot of different contributions from a lot of different guys, whether it be a rebound here, a steal here, layup here, where they're just starting to create a little bit of separation where it's going to be hard for Grayson to come back.
I just found out, thanks to Pro AV4U, Dr. Buff is the principal.
Oh, wow.
The principal down there getting it in.
I love to see this. I don't know if I've ever seen a principal have this much fun with the kids.
Students, call your eyes, call your eyes.
1 minute, 43 seconds to go. 1 minute, 43 seconds to go.
13 points is probably insurmountable at this point. With the way this game is going on, I'd be shocked if they can go on a 13-0 run to even tie this game.
But
with only 39 points scored for the game.
Here's the thing now, Coach, you coached on all levels. You coached on all levels. You've seen it all. Now, one thing I always like to say, the eye in the sky never goes off.
Yep.
It's a 13-point game. You're probably not going to come back and win, but we can find out what type of player you are.
And what type of person you are.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
What type of program you are.
Are you going to roll over and just let these 1 minute and 26 seconds go, or are you going to battle hard to the end?
Oh, that should have been a turnover. And the referees are letting them play because that could have been a foul call as well. Good patience right there because a lot of guys would have taken that three-point shot.
Working it around, still plenty of time on the shot clock. Now it's 10 seconds on the shot clock.
If Newton scores here, this is the perfect possession. If they score, this is going to be the perfect possession. Run the clock all the way down and get a basket.
Get that out of here. Chad Moodie with the block. And it'll go out of bounds. And now we have questions about the shot clock. It shouldn't be 25 seconds. It was 1 second on the shot clock when the ball was blocked.
The kid caught the ball and went out of bounds. So I don't know how it could be Newton's ball. I'm not sure what happened right there. I would love it. I wish we were sitting down a little bit closer to the court and we could get some kind of explanation. Because what I saw was a block shot and a player get the ball and then go out of bounds. I guess they're saying the ball is out on Grayson, which I'm not sure how it could be. Unless when it hit the floor, it must have hit the out of bounds line prior to the gentleman from Newton County gathering the ball and going out of bounds.
That's the only way. And now they're counting the shot clock down. I think they're going to send the shot clock to 1.
Okay.
So the shot clock will be 1. 1 second on the shot clock.
The Newton student section finally, this raucous crowd is finally starting to disperse a little bit.
Time to beat the traffic home.
It is. Or what I would call the let out. Everybody's trying to get out of here before the let out. I'm hoping that my car is still there because I parked on the sidewalk like I was the assistant principal. I'm not sure if everybody's going to be happy with that, but hopefully it worked out well for me and my car is still there when I get outside.
I tell you, hopefully the tow truck companies, they understand it's a big game.
I hope so. I really do.
But a lot of times I was always told, act like you belong and won't nobody say anything about it.
And that was my thought process when I parked where I parked.
Oh, the inbound, beautiful play with no time on the shot clock.
Yeah.
Beautiful play, the MJ Whitlock that beat the shot clock. Whitlock having a whale of a game tonight.
He played really well. He kind of got him going early when Castle was easing his way into the game. Castle handled the middle part of the game, and then now Whitlock and a cast of other guys for Newton have made plays that created the separation that they needed to come away with the victory tonight.
And look here, Dr. Buff is actually leading
She's
the
in the middle of
cheers.
everything.
She's leading the cheers.
She's my favorite principal in the country.
My goodness.
I think when you have this kind of rapport with your students that they're going to do what you need them to do during the day as well, though I would imagine that, they have a lot of respect for her and they love the way that she has fun with them during the night at the game. So we got to act accordingly during the day.
Both free throws knocked down by C.J. Hyler.
Probably a little bit too late.
Now Castle.
They're not going to foul, so they're just going to try to trap and play the game out. Newton's doing a great job spacing the court, been very patient all game. I would imagine the ball will end up in Castle's hands, and they'll allow him to make a play.
But
now you don't even foul, you just let the clock run out.
It has been an interesting game here. Newton rebounding from a loss to take out Grayson. Looks like the final score is going to be 54-43, 54-43. Newton on top of Grayson. Coach, what do you think?
It was a good game. Newton just, their zone defense was too much for Grayson. Grayson wasn't able to penetrate it, wasn't able to get any good shots. The size and athleticism for Newton was too much, and a lot of Whitlock early. A lot of Stephon Castle during the middle part of the game, and the other guys kind of closed it out for him. Great atmosphere. I had a blast.
Well, he's Coach Dal LeBerry. For our producer, Lisa, Marcus, our cameraman down below, I am Sly the sports guy. It has been another great game here on SUV TV. The SUV TV Game of the Week brought to you by Breda Pest Management. The final score, 54-43, 54-43. Newton takes out Grayson. We'll see you next week on SUV TV.